Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about more coronavirus things. Um, Hello,
Hello.
um, welcome. And can I get your perspective on the coronavirus?
What specifically?
Um, how do you feel about it? Are you afraid of it? Do you let it control your life? Things like that.
Of course, yeah, I'm afraid of it. I don't even know the numbers anymore. In the beginning, I was counting, and now I'm like, millions of people have died, and more than millions of people have gotten it. So, yeah,
Okay.
super scary.
All right. So to be in the name of accuracy, hundreds of thousands of people have died. I don't think we've hit the million mark yet. Maybe worldwide, but not here in the United States. We haven't hit a million people yet. But at this rate, I think we're going to get to a million super fast. Um, I have a scenario for you. Um, Say you have a friend that wants to go to the doctor for a checkup um, in the middle of a pandemic. Is now the best time to be going for a checkup, or do you feel like you have to go for your yearly checkup at the risk of being infected at the doctor's office? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think it's super tricky. I think, it's February of 2021, right? Or, yeah, 2021. So we've been practically in this for a year. So I think feelings that people had at the beginning of the pandemic were like, okay, let's just hold off. I remember my job being like, okay, we'll come up with a plan, and then, what we're going to do in the meantime while we're not seeing clients, and, what are we going to do? And now it's like, this is our lifestyle. And so when you're living in a lifestyle of stuff, there's certain things that every individual is going to find important. And so, yeah, I do feel like a year into the pandemic, like going to the doctor is important for certain screenings that we know, prevent serious illness. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, in my opinion, there are two types of people. Well, let's correct that. There are three types of people. There are people that don't believe the COVID-19 is real, Corona is real. There are people that believe that the main way to get infected is by touching surfaces, right? Surfaces, touching your face and your nose. And there are people that believe that this thing's airborne. It's in the air. You walk into a room and you breathe it in and you're done, right? I'm in the third group. I believe it's airborne, right? I don't really believe in the surfaces deal. And I'm a guy that does a lot of research. I've been to the CDC's website. I've looked at the CDC actually said surface infection by like getting infected from touching surfaces. It's like super low, right? Let's just say
Mm.
5%. It's not a real number, but it's super low. The main way to get infected is by breathing in aerosols from someone that's infected. So I'm of the firm belief that if you end up in a room with someone that has the corona, for example, um, if someone's husband gets corona and he goes and sleeps in the room with his wife, which he does every night, she's done for. She has it, right? It's over. Nothing can be done, right? She doesn't have to touch him. She doesn't have to. It's not in the sheets. It's not on his clothes. It's the air. He's breathing. They're sleeping in the same room. She's going to get the coronavirus. However, if that same husband guy goes to the grocery store and take note, he's infected with the corona. Let's just pretend he doesn't know, right? And he walks past a lady on aisle 17, walks right by her. She's not going to get the virus, right? You have to be in a contained environment indoors for X amount of minutes to be infected, right? So that's my belief.
Yeah.
That being said, I do have a friend that went to the dentist's office. She went to go get work done, and she swore up and down she's one of those people that stays in their house, goes to Walmart once a week, and that's all she does. She doesn't invite anyone over, stuff like that. And she got COVID 3 days after she went to the dentist. She started feeling super weird, and she tested positive. Why? Because you've got two people working on you in the dentist office in a small area, and they were probably working on her for like an hour with her mouth open, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're over there breathing and stuff, and somehow she got infected. So I'm of the firm belief that no, you don't need to go get a checkup, right? Unless you've got the vaccine or you've had the corona before. If you've had it before, I believe you're immune to it for a certain amount of time and go do whatever you want as long as you wear a mask, right? What are your thoughts on that?
On what part?
Everything.
I think it's just so complex, and like I'm so not a scientist. Like I was not good at science in school. It's like over my head, but I just have so many like, questions. But like I think the thing is that the thing we know about COVID, even doctors and researchers, what we know the most about it is that we don't know everything about it, and that the information is constantly changing, and that at least in the United States, the administration that was previously in power, they didn't give correct information. They lied about things. And so there was a time when, they were like surfaces are the most important things. Like like wash your hands, like wear gloves, like don't touch anything, spray all your food down, spray your packages down. Like I do think like the media has probably done a better job in recent months of like explaining that aerosols are like, important to be controlled. Um, but I think like, I just think the thing about it is we just don't know everything, and everybody's on a continuum, not everybody, and to no fault of anyone, not everybody watches the news all day. People are busy with their lives and they catch things here and there, life goes on. And I think there's also people, I think a big thing, so I just think there's a couple things that always stick out in my mind when we're just trying to understand. And it seems like this conversation is about understanding why people do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
In a world of COVID, right? And so one thing that I look at very much so is that people kind of in like two different groups, right? Since COVID started. So there's the people who have been able to self-isolate. They have been given the choice and the privilege to self-isolate if they choose.
People that work from home.
People that work from home, people that have, credit cards and accounts and can open Walmart accounts and get their groceries delivered. If you're on food stamps, you can't do that. If you don't have more than $20 in your account on any given day, you can't do that. So if you know what I mean? If you don't have a car to drive to go pick up your food, can't really do that. There's just certain things that like you can't do, right? And so I think if you have a low wage job where you have to go in, or if you're a medical professional, or who cares, like if you work at a jail, there's so many options. And so there's people who are hearing things like stay home and stay safe, and they're just rolling their eyes because they're like, I don't get to stay home and stay safe. And so then when they're given the opportunity to like go to the dentist, they're like, well, I have to go work at Walmart every single day and see hundreds of people. And now you're telling me I can't go get my cavity filled that's been bothering me for 3 months. Yeah, maybe I'm not going to die, but like my tooth feels yucky. So yeah, I mean, I think you're dealing with those types of people, and it's hard to kind of like, tell them like, that's not safe, don't do that, but keep going to work and bagging my groceries. And then the other thing like that you mentioned that like I'll touch on is that I I sent you, like the NPR news article. NPR had an article that came out today, and it's what I've been thinking about this whole time, which is like if you look at the city and the county that I live in, and you see the number of like new positive cases, which at this point I can't even tell you what it would be, but it might be like 300 cases, like 42 new cases today, right? I always thought like, well, that's not accurate, because I've always thought all they're doing, they don't know who has COVID or not. What they know is this 42 people got tested positive today in our city, right? I think about all the people that feel sick and they just self-isolate, but they don't go to the doctor and they don't tell anybody. I think about all the people who are asymptomatic, and I think about all the people who are sick and they still go out and spread their germs because they're like, oh, I just have a cold or something, and it's like, oh my gosh, do you think? But none of those people are getting counted. And so I say all that to say, like, it's just, we're dealing with something that we can't even look at it. We don't even know what's really going on. Mm-hmm. You know, so I don't know, just like when I think about going to the dentist, I don't know, like someone could easily say, like to your point, someone could easily say, well, I know 20 people have gone to the dentist this year and they didn't get COVID. Did they not? Or did they just not get tested? You know what I mean? So I have no idea. But you asked me like what I think about all those things. I don't know.
Okay, that's a fair assessment. All right, I think we're out of time. So thanks for joining us today, and we will have another discussion tomorrow. We'll try to put out videos daily, talking mainly about the virus and stuff like that, and other things in the news. So thanks for joining us, and you all have a nice day.
Bye.